Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like time has stolen something from you? Wrinkles appear, hair turns gray, and the person you once knew feels like a stranger. Aging is a journey we all take. In America, 75% of adults say they fear growing old, afraid of losing health, friends, or even themselves. But what if I told you aging isn't about loss, but a gift? Buddhism, with its thousand-year-old wisdom, teaches that suffering comes from resisting impermanence, the truth that everything changes. And when we embrace that, we find peace, purpose, and even joy. Today at Wisdom of the Buddha, we're sharing 10 profound Buddhist lessons to transform aging into a journey of freedom and meaning. From letting go of the fear of being forgotten, to finding joy in your changing body, and even facing death with peace, these lessons will reshape how you view growing older. What if aging isn't an ending, but a new beginning? Stay with us, because what you're about to discover could change the rest of your journey. Before we dive in, I warmly invite you to join thousands of others exploring Buddhist wisdom at Wisdom of the Buddha. If this journey resonates with you, please hit like to spread the message, share this video with loved ones, and subscribe to our channel to stay connected with future insights. In the comments, share. What worries you most about aging? Your story will inspire our community. And now, let's begin with part 1, Why Aging Feels Hard, where we start embracing change with gratitude. Lesson 1. You'll be forgotten. And that's liberating. Imagine this. The career you built, the home you cherished, the stories you told, one day they'll fade from memory. It's a hard truth. You'll be forgotten faster than you think. But here's the surprising part. In Buddhism, this isn't something to fear. It's liberating. What if letting go of the need to be remembered frees you to live more fully right now? Let's explore the first lesson from Wisdom of the Buddha. In Buddhism, there's a teaching called anatta, or non-self. It says the idea of a fixed, permanent you, your name, your achievements, is an illusion. Like waves in the ocean, we rise, shine for a moment, and then merge back into the flow of life. Our goal isn't to cling to fame or legacy, but to be fully present in each moment. Let me tell you about Mary, a retired teacher from Ohio. For 40 years, she poured her heart into her students, hoping her name would live on. But after retiring, she felt invisible. Her former colleagues moved on. Her students grew up. Then, Mary started volunteering at a local library, teaching kids to read. She realized something profound. It wasn't her name that mattered, but the joy she brought to those children. By letting go of the need to be remembered, she found freedom to live for today. Think about it. We often chase recognition, a promotion, a viral post, a lasting legacy. But Buddhism teaches that true happiness comes from letting go of this chase. A Zen saying goes, a single candle can light 1,000 others without losing its flame. Your kindness, your presence, those are the ripples that matter, not your name in history books. Here's a small practice to try. Tonight, take a moment to write down 3 kind acts you did today, no matter how small. Maybe you smiled at a stranger or helped a neighbor. This simple exercise shifts your focus from being remembered to living with purpose. Pause now and think, what's one kind act you did today? Share it in the comments to inspire our Wisdom of the Buddha community. By embracing the truth that will be forgotten, we free ourselves to live more fully in the present. But what about the physical changes that come with aging? Your body, once strong and tireless, starts to slow down. Does that feel like a betrayal? In our next lesson, we'll explore how Buddhism teaches us to treat our body not as an enemy, but as a lifelong friend. Stay with Wisdom of the Buddha, because Lesson 2 is about finding peace in the body you have right now. Lesson 2, your body changes. Treat it like a friend. Do you remember the last time you ran up the stairs without a second thought? Now, every step might remind you of an ache in your knees. Your body, once strong, reliable, seems to be slowing down, maybe even betraying you. But Buddhism teaches that this isn't betrayal. It's simply nature at work. What if you treated your body not as an enemy, but as a lifelong friend? Let's dive into the second lesson from Wisdom of the Buddha. In Buddhism, impermanence, or anicca, teaches that everything changes, including our bodies. Just as a tree sheds its leaves in autumn, our bodies shift with time. The problem isn't the change itself, but our resistance to it, which causes suffering. Instead of resenting our bodies for their new limitations, Buddhism invites us to be grateful for them, for carrying us through every chapter of life. Let me tell you about Linda, a 70-year-old woman from California. After retiring, Linda struggled with back pain and sleepless nights, feeling like her body was turning against her. She tried everything to fix it, from medications to intense gym workouts. But the harder she fought, the more frustrated she became. Then a friend invited her to try gentle yoga and meditation. Linda started listening to her body, practicing slow breathing and eating more mindfully. She realized her body wasn't an enemy, but a friend that had carried her through decades, from childhood adventures to adult responsibilities. By caring for it with gratitude, Linda rediscovered joy in living. Think about it. We often treat our bodies like machines that need fixing when they slow down. But Buddhism teaches that our body is our oldest friend, healing countless wounds, enduring stress, and adapting to every burden we've placed on it. Instead of blaming it, we can nurture it like we would a dear friend. Here's a small practice to try. Right now, do a 4-4-4 breathing exercise. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds. Do this for 1 minute, feeling your body relax and connect. Can you pause for a moment to try it now? Share how it felt in the comments to inspire our Wisdom of the Buddha community. This simple practice reminds us that our body, even as it changes, is still the precious home of our spirit. When we learn to treat our body as a friend, we find peace in its changes. But what about the people around us? As we age, friends and family sometimes drift away, leaving an ache of emptiness. Does that mean love fades too? In our next lesson, we'll explore how Buddhism teaches us to cherish relationships that fade and hold love forever in our hearts. Stay with Wisdom of the Buddha, because Lesson 3 will touch your soul. Lesson 3. Relationships fade, but love stays. Have you ever noticed how people who were once so close, friends, colleagues, even family, now feel distant? As we age, relationships change, fade, leaving an ache in our hearts. But Buddhism teaches that this loss isn't the end of love. What if love remains, even when people drift away? Let's explore the third lesson from Wisdom of the Buddha. In Buddhism, impermanence, or anicca, reminds us that everything changes, including relationships. Like a river flowing by, people come and go in our lives. But even when they leave, the love and lessons they gave leave behind stay with us. Instead of clinging to what's gone, Buddhism invites us to cherish the moments we had and open our hearts to new connections. Let me tell you about Robert, a 68-year-old man from Texas. After his best friend passed away and his children moved far away, Robert felt lonely, as if the ties that bound his life had unraveled. He tried calling old friends, but everyone was busy. Then one day, Robert decided to write a thank you letter to an old school friend just to express gratitude for past memories. That letter sparked a conversation, and he started attending a local book club. There, Robert found new friends, but more importantly, he realized that the love from his old relationships, from his late friend, from his distant children, still lived in his heart, through memories and the kindness he shared. Think about it. We often suffer when we try to hold on to relationships that have changed or feel abandoned when others drift away. But Buddhism teaches that love never truly fades. It lives on through memories, lessons, and the kindness we spread. A Zen saying goes, "The river doesn't hold the water, but it still carries the light of the sky." The love in relationships is like that. It doesn't need to be grasped to endure. Here's a small practice to try. Write a short thank you letter to an old friend or family member just to say you treasure the moments you shared. You don't have to send it. Just write to feel the love that remains. Can you think of someone to write to right now? Share your story in the comments to inspire our Wisdom of the Buddha community. This practice helps heal the pain of loss and opens your heart to new connections. When we learn to cherish the love that remains from relationships that fade, we find peace in our hearts. But what about the reflection we see in the mirror? As gray hair and wrinkles appear, society often tells us we've lost our beauty. Is that true? In our next lesson, we'll explore how Buddhism teaches us that true beauty lies not in youth, but in wisdom and kindness. Stay with Wisdom of the Buddha, because Lesson 4 will change how you see yourself. Lesson 4. You don't look young. and that's beautiful. Have you ever looked in the mirror and been startled by new wrinkles or gray hair? Society tells us to fight aging, dye our hair, erase wrinkles, cling to youth. But Buddhism teaches that true beauty doesn't lie in youth, but in the wisdom and kindness we gather over the years. What if your wrinkles tell the most beautiful stories of your life? Let's explore the fourth lesson from Wisdom of the Buddha. In Buddhism, everything is impermanent, including our appearance. Wrinkles and gray hair aren't signs of loss, but marks of a rich life. Buddhism teaches that true beauty comes from the heart, from compassion, understanding, and the kind acts you leave behind. Let me tell you about Susan, a 72-year-old woman from Oregon. When she was younger, Susan was self-conscious about her looks, spending hours on makeup and worrying about aging. But after retiring, she began teaching a community class on life skills, sharing lessons from her journey. Her young students didn't care about her wrinkles or gray hair. They loved Susan for her wisdom and open heart. Susan realized that true beauty wasn't in a youthful face, but in the stories she shared, the smiles she gave, and the love she spread. Her wrinkles, as she put it, were a map of a life well lived. Think about it. We're often caught up in society's pressures, anti-aging ads, youthful images on social media. But Buddhism teaches that true beauty doesn't fade with time because it lies in wisdom and kindness. A famous Zen saying goes, "The old pine tree doesn't need flowers to shine." Your life, with every wrinkle and mark of time, shines just as brightly. Here's a small practice to try. Stand in front of a mirror, look at yourself, and say, "I cherish my journey." Repeat it 3 times, feeling gratitude for every experience that shaped you. Can you try this right now? Share how it felt in the comments to inspire our Wisdom of the Buddha community. This practice helps you build confidence and love yourself, no matter how you look. When we learn to see our wrinkles as marks of a beautiful life, we find confidence and peace in who we are. But aging brings deeper challenges too, like losing those we love. Can that pain ever heal? In our next lesson, we'll explore how Buddhism teaches us to transform the pain of loss into gratitude and enduring love. Stay with Wisdom of the Buddha, because Lesson 5 will touch your heart. Lesson 5, Loss hurts, but love endures. Losing someone dear, a friend, family member, or partner, is one of the deepest pains of aging. That grief can feel like your heart is being torn apart. But Buddhism teaches that even though they're gone, the love they left behind endures forever. What if the pain of loss could become a doorway to gratitude? Let's explore the 5th lesson from Wisdom of the Buddha. In Buddhism, impermanence, or anicca, teaches that everything comes and goes, including those we love. But love isn't bound by time or presence. Buddhism invites us to transform the pain of loss into gratitude by cherishing the memories and lessons they left behind. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 65-year-old woman from Pennsylvania. When Margaret's mother passed away, she was consumed by grief, unable to bear the emptiness of her home. She tried to move on by staying busy, but the sense of loss lingered. Then one day, Margaret decided to plant a small memorial garden with her mother's favorite flowers. Each time she tended the garden, she recalled moments with her mother, shared meals, simple advice. Through that garden, Margaret realized her mother's love still lived in her, through memories and the kindness she spread. The pain didn't vanish, but it became a way to honor a love that endures. Think about it. We often try to get over loss or drown in grief, thinking the love is gone too. But Buddhism teaches that love endures through memories, through how we live, and through the kindness we share. An ancient Buddhist story tells of Kisa Gotami, who learned to accept loss by realizing everyone shares this pain. Here's a small practice to try. Take a moment to write down a beautiful memory of a loved one who's passed, a moment that makes you smile. Just write to feel the love that remains. Can you think of a memory right now? Share your story in the comments to inspire our Wisdom of the Buddha community. This practice helps you turn pain into gratitude and keep love alive. When we learn to transform the pain of loss into gratitude, we find the strength to keep love alive forever. But aging brings another challenge. When work and old roles end, does life lose its meaning? In our next lesson, we'll explore how Buddhism teaches us to find new purpose in retirement. Stay with Wisdom of the Buddha, because Lesson 6 will open a new chapter for you. Lesson 6, Retirement isn't the end, it's a new purpose. When you retire, leaving behind work and familiar roles, it can feel like life has lost its meaning. The busy days that once defined you become an empty space. But Buddhism teaches that retirement isn't the end. It's a chance to discover a new purpose. What if this phase is the most beautiful chapter of your story? Let's explore the sixth lesson from Wisdom of the Buddha. In Buddhism, impermanence, or anicca, teaches that every stage of life is temporary, but each offers a chance to live meaningfully. Retirement isn't a loss of role. It's an invitation to find new ways to contribute and enjoy life. Buddhism emphasizes that purpose doesn't come from titles or jobs, but from how you bring value to yourself and others. Let me tell you about George, a 67-year-old man from Colorado. After 35 years as a banker, George retired and felt lost, as if he no longer had value. He used to think life revolved around work. Then one day, George joined a pottery class at a community center. He discovered joy in creating clay pots, and even more, he began teaching neighborhood kids how to shape clay. By sharing his skills and time, George found a new purpose, not as a banker, but as someone who inspires and connects. He realized retirement was a chance to slow down and create new value. Think about it. We often tie our worth to jobs or social roles, so retirement can feel empty. But Buddhism teaches that purpose never fades, it transforms. A famous Zen saying goes, "The field never stops yielding wheat, from season to season." Your life is like that, always ready for new harvests. Here's a small practice to try. Write down 3 things you'd like to try in retirement, maybe painting, gardening, or volunteering. They don't need to be grand, just something that sparks curiosity. Can you think of one thing right now? Share your ideas in the comments to inspire our Wisdom of the Buddha community. This practice opens your heart to new possibilities and helps you find joy in the journey ahead. When we find new purpose in retirement, we discover joy in slowing down and creating value. But aging brings a bigger challenge. Time keeps moving, and we can't control it. Is there a way to live in harmony with its flow? In our next lesson, we'll explore how Buddhism teaches us to choose peace even when time won't wait. Stay with Wisdom of the Buddha, because Lesson 7 will bring true freedom. Lesson 7, Fear of Death. Find peace instead. As we age, a quiet fear grows, the fear of death. It can keep you awake at night, worrying about what lies ahead. But Buddhism teaches that death isn't something to dread. It's a natural part of life, like clouds passing through the sky. What if you could face death with peace instead of fear? Let's explore the 7th lesson from Wisdom of the Buddha. In Buddhism, impermanence, or anicca, teaches that everything changes, including our lives. Death is part of the natural cycle, not an end, but a transformation. Buddhism encourages us to meditate on impermanence, to live fully in the present, rather than fearing the future. Let me tell you about Ellen, a 70-year-old woman from Minnesota. When diagnosed with a chronic illness, Ellen was consumed by fear of death, losing sleep over the days she had left. But through a meditation course, she began practicing contemplation of impermanence, visualizing life like clouds drifting by, appearing, shifting, then dissolving. Meditation helped Ellen realize that instead of fearing death, she could live each day with gratitude, cherishing moments with friends and family. Ellen was no longer controlled by fear. Instead, she found peace, living each day as a precious gift. Think about it. We often avoid thinking about death, but that only makes fear grow. Buddhism teaches that by facing impermanence, we find freedom. A famous Zen saying goes, "Clouds don't cling to the sky, yet they pass through gracefully." Your life is like that. There's no need to hold on to make it meaningful. Here's a small practice to try. Sit quietly for 1 minute, close your eyes, and imagine your life as a cloud, appearing, changing, then dissolving. Feel the peace in that transformation. Can you pause for a moment to try it now? Share how it felt in the comments to inspire our Wisdom of the Buddha community. This practice helps you let go of fear and live more fully each day. When we learn to face death with peace, we live each day with gratitude and meaning. But aging can sometimes bring loneliness, leaving us yearning for connection. Can community heal the heart? In our next lesson, we'll explore how Buddhism teaches us to find joy and strength through compassion and community connection. Stay with Wisdom of the Buddha, because Lesson 8 will warm your heart. Lesson 8, Community Heals. connect through compassion. As we age, loneliness can creep into our lives. Friends drift away, family gets busy, and the world seems to shrink. But Buddhism teaches that we're never truly alone when we have community and compassion. What if a group of strangers could become the strength that heals your heart? Let's explore the eighth lesson from Wisdom of the Buddha. In Buddhism, compassion, or metta, is the force that connects us to others, and community, or sangha, is the space where that connection thrives. Buddhism teaches that when we open our hearts, share, and support one another, loneliness fades, replaced by joy and meaning. Let me tell you about Henry, a 73-year-old man from Seattle. After his wife passed away, Henry withdrew from life, living alone in his small apartment. He felt like he no longer had a place in the world. But one day, Henry was invited to a meditation group at a local community center. At first, he was hesitant, thinking he couldn't connect with strangers. But through the meditation sessions and shared stories, Henry found comfort in the experiences of others. He started bringing homemade cookies to the group, and the smiles of his new friends made him feel he belonged. The meditation group became Henry's Sangha, a healing community where compassion bound everyone together. Think about it. We often isolate ourselves when we feel lonely, believing no one understands us. But Buddhism teaches that compassion and community are the medicine for healing. A famous Zen saying goes, "The ancient tree is strong because its branches intertwine." We are stronger too when we connect. Here's a small practice to try. This month, join a community group, maybe a meditation circle, a book club, or a volunteer team. If there's none nearby, start a small group with friends or neighbors. Can you think of a group to join right now? Share your plans in the comments to inspire our Wisdom of the Buddha community. This practice helps you open your heart and find joy through connection. When we connect through compassion and community, we find the strength to overcome loneliness and live with joy. But aging brings a bigger question. As time slips away relentlessly, how do we live in harmony with it? In our next lesson, we'll explore how Buddhism teaches us to choose peace even when we can't control time. Stay with Wisdom of the Buddha, because Lesson 9 will bring true freedom. Lesson 9. You can't control time, but you can choose peace. Time moves relentlessly, day by day, year by year, and we can't slow it down. As we age, this can spark anxiety, an urge to hold on to precious moments. But Buddhism teaches that we don't need to control time to find happiness. What if you could live in harmony with time's flow, choosing peace over worry? Let's explore the ninth lesson from Wisdom of the Buddha. In Buddhism, impermanence, or anicca, teaches that time is an unending flow, and everything changes. Trying to control time only brings suffering, but embracing its flow leads to peace. Buddhism encourages living fully in the present, cherishing each moment without clinging. Let me tell you about Clara, a 69-year-old woman from Florida. After retiring, Clara worried that time was slipping away too quickly. She feared missing out on what mattered, filling her days with frantic plans. But it only left her exhausted. Then Clara joined a mindfulness meditation course, learning to focus on the present. She started journaling each day, noting small moments, a quiet morning, a chat with her grandchild. Through mindfulness, Clara realized she didn't need to control time. She just needed to live each moment fully. Peace came when she let go of worry and embraced the now. Think about it. We often worry about time. The past is gone, the future isn't here, and miss the present. Buddhism teaches that peace lies in the moment we're living. A famous Zen saying goes, "The river doesn't hold the water, but it keeps flowing." Your life is like that. You don't need to cling to make it meaningful. Here's a small practice to try. Tonight, write down 3 beautiful moments you experienced today. Maybe a smile, a warm cup of tea, or a kind word. Can you think of one moment right now? Share your story in the comments to inspire our Wisdom of the Buddha community. This practice helps you live mindfully, finding peace in each day. When we choose peace over worrying about time, we live each day with gratitude and meaning. But aging brings one final question. How do we live fully and leave a lasting legacy? In our next lesson, we'll explore how Buddhism teaches us to create a meaningful life through small, heartfelt actions. Stay with Wisdom of the Buddha, because Lesson 10 will inspire you to live wholeheartedly. Lesson 10. Live fully each day. Create your legacy. As we age, a question often arises: what will my life leave behind? We long to create a legacy, a lasting mark. Buddhism teaches that your legacy isn't about fame or wealth, but about how you live fully each day. What if every small action today becomes your greatest legacy? Let's explore the 10th lesson from Wisdom of the Buddha. In Buddhism, mindfulness, or sati, is living fully in the present, doing everything with awareness and compassion. Your legacy doesn't need to be a monument or a book. It can be small acts, a smile, a piece of advice, a tree you plant, that create ripples of love. Let me tell you about Rose, a 74-year-old woman from Virginia. After retiring, Rose felt she had little left to offer, but she began sharing stories of her life with her grandchildren. Those stories not only bonded her family, but inspired her to join a community tree planting project. Each tree Rose planted was a gift to the future, a legacy of kindness and hope. Rose realized that living fully each day, whether through a story or a tree, was how she left a mark that would last forever. Think about it. We often think a legacy has to be grand, but Buddhism teaches that small acts done with heart create lasting impact. A famous Zen saying goes, "A single seed can grow an entire forest." Your life is like that. Every act of kindness is a seed. Here's a small practice to try. Today, do one small act of kindness. Maybe write a loving note, help a neighbor, or offer someone a smile. Can you think of one act right now? Share your story in the comments to inspire our Wisdom of the Buddha community. This practice helps you live mindfully and build a legacy day by day. When we live fully each day, we create a legacy that endures through kindness and meaning. But how do we tie together this journey of aging? In our conclusion, we'll reflect on the lessons we've learned and how they open a new chapter for your life. Stay with Wisdom of the Buddha, because the final part will inspire you to live wholeheartedly. Aging isn't an ending, it's a vibrant new chapter in your life story. With Wisdom of the Buddha, we've uncovered 10 Buddhist lessons. Embrace being forgotten to live freely. Cherish your changing body as a friend. Hold on to love as relationships fade. See beauty in wrinkles as marks of wisdom. Transform loss into gratitude. Find fresh purpose in retirement. Face death with peace. Heal through compassionate community. Choose peace over time's flow, and create a lasting legacy through daily kindness. Buddhism teaches that impermanence is a gift, guiding us to live with gratitude, compassion, and joy in every moment. Thank you for joining Wisdom of the Buddha through this entire journey. Your time and presence mean the world to us. If these lessons touched your heart, please spread their light. Hit like to show your support, share this video with loved ones, and subscribe to Wisdom of the Buddha for more Buddhist wisdom. In the comments, tell us which lesson resonated most with you, or suggest a topic you'd love us to explore next. Try a small practice from these lessons, like writing a kind note or joining a community group, and start your next chapter today. Aging is your chance to write a new chapter, filled with love, purpose, and peace. At Wisdom of the Buddha, we believe every day is a gift to live fully and leave ripples of kindness. Thank you for being here, and we can't wait to meet you in our next video. Live boldly, love deeply, and make today your masterpiece.